What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel for another video. In this video, we're just going to talk coon dog stuff and throw a hodgepodge video together for y'all. I know it's been a while. We're going to get back into it, but let's go ahead and run this video, dude. Okay, so I have kind of speculated and went on in my head over the past couple months about exactly what would be a good direction to push the channel. And I feel like I reached that hill that I wanted to climb, and we need to get pushed in a different direction or get pushed into something bigger or something more in depth. Now, in the previous video, the other part of this video, I'm recording these all at once, but had to change my hoodie. But recording these all together, it's kind of going off the same thought. So basically, I have a lot of videos that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and it is actually exceptionally hard to get those videos done and have the means and get the means to actually do those videos. So those are going to be back burners. So those big grandiose ideas have kind of fell off, and I've spent the past couple months, as you guys seen in the leather video, that I've been kind of trying to build towards something a little bit better here. So let's talk about coon dogs. I have the whole videos about just talking about coon dogs in general as a breed, but I want to talk more specifically about the way that people view coon dogs and the way that people who hunt view coon dogs, and kind of the things that I've came across as I've hunted with people over the years and all this kind of thing. There's people that are really just about, they don't care about the dog, they just want the coon treat. Okay, that is definitely up there at the top of the list in the majority of the cases. We all want our dog to treat a coon, okay? So there is a lot of different brackets here. So in one of my videos, I was talking about the underbelly and there being an underbelly of the whole coon hound world. Now, we don't have to be underbelly. We don't have to be high on the hog when it comes to the coon hunting stuff. You can go out in the woods with a collar and a leash and a dog and have the best dog in the woods. And you can go out in the woods with the most expensive dog, the most high dollar dog, the most high dollar equipment and truck and all this stuff, and not be a very good dog in the woods. At all in all, it is kind of like one of these things. It is a hand over fist situation, because we are constantly just putting it out there, and then we have to figure it out, and whatever comes out of that is what trumps that, right? So it is always something that is going to come along that is going to be bigger, better, badder, awesomer, more, better, faster, whatever. There's always going to be a dog that is going to beat our dog. There's always going to be a dog that is going to be faster, better, do it sound better, run track better, do layups better, whatever the case may be. So with that being said, okay, so if we think of that in that way, in that sense, whatever dog we have is the dog that we have, and we have to adjust and apply ourselves to fit that dog, okay? And this is managing expectations. It is really hard to expect a dog to be, world champion class dog, and it just poorly performs, okay? So a poorly performing dog doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad dog. It means it's just poorly performing for you. Another guy might, be the happiest man on the planet to own that dog, right? A lot of pleasure hunting stuff and things like that. We can't forget about these ideas and can't forget about these feel-good times. Now, the way that we always hunted, and I want to just, point this out too, is, I've been through the ringer, man. We put dogs in the woods that never treat anything for, over a year when we ran a dog every night. We put dogs in the woods and we treated 4 or 5 of them. I had a dog that was very consistent at treating multitudes of coon a night. And we also ran these kind of dogs together. We ran the opposites together. We ran dogs that didn't know nothing together. So it's kind of like, there's nothing that we can really do at the end of the day if a dog isn't just performing, right? We can just put it in the woods and hope for the best. And sometimes there is a little thing that we can do, go back to, give it a refresher, and it might click it over that notch. But some dogs just don't ever click, right? So some dogs just don't ever click it. Some dogs don't just ever get there, and maybe they do get there, but they're very super wishy-washy. They're very super inconsistent. You put them in the woods, he trees one coon, and then it's 4 or 5 months before it trees another one. Or you can come across all these kind of things, and I know there's a lot of guys that will sit high up on the hog area here and look down and go, well, that dog's junk. I wouldn't own that dog. I'd call that dog. I'd sell that dog. I wouldn't have that dog in my yard. I wouldn't feed a dog. I wouldn't treat nothing. That's all fine and good because those people have options. I've talked about this. But at the end of the day, we have to just kind of go for it and hash it out. And one video that I did that I thought was very good information is, if we do things wrong, sometimes the better idea is to just keep doing it wrong till the dog gets it right. Because sometimes the dog will figure it out before you figure it out. And, that fingers crossed stage is one of the biggest killers of a dog, right? So we have these high hopes and he's looking good and he's starting early and he's doing everything that he's supposed to do, but then he hits that lull and he hits that patch to where it's fingers crossed time, and it's put the dog in the woods and hope for the best. And at that point in time, when we get stuck in that stage, some dogs linger there for a very long time before they click it and actually get it done. Or it will take us a extremely long time before we realize and understand this is the missing piece that I need to fix, and we fix it and the dog gets it, right? So sometimes we're our own worst enemy when it comes down to training these dogs. Now, this time of year up here in Michigan, this time of the year that I always get the urge and the itch to go hunting and get in the woods. The weather is warming up a little bit. The leaves ain't quite all the way back on. It's cool outside, and it's easy walking, and it's not so hot or muggy or so frigid cold. This is my I like hunting this time of year and the fall time. I just like getting a dog in the woods all year round. But I do have my particular favorites. I have my reasons why I like each particular season and my different reasons. Like I said in my last video, I kind of like doing seasonal kind of things and getting out there and doing that kind of deal, right? So this time of year is definitely a time of year that I am really just chomping at the bit to put a dog in the woods. But also it's a time of the year that I have nothing to put the dog in the woods for. So I just get out there and do my training. This would be the time of year that I would get out without a firearm and just run a dog. And this is a very good time to do that training. I don't know specifically for other locations or however you guys are configured around here, but on the channel, but here right now in this in-between stage between super hot summer or super hot spring, where everything is just, so full and stuff, and out of the end of winter, this is a really good time to do that off-season running, especially the training. But for that, it is kind of like no firearms, especially here, unless it's like private land or something like that. But this time of year is the time of year that I really enjoy putting a dog in the woods and just running a dog, right? Because there's no pressure this time of year to come out of the woods with anything because you can't. So running when the pressure is low to produce anything, and getting out there just to do it, just to enjoy it, just to stretch a dog's legs, just to put something up a tree if you can, or just to try to fix them problems in that dog before season gets to us, right? So that is definitely a good time of year to do this. Now, it depends on your state and your state regulations and when your season is, or if you even have a season for coon. But, this spring, summertime, is a good time to get your dogs ready to go into season. And this season coming up will be Tilly's second season, and I got a lot of work to do if I want to get ahead of the ball and I want to have me a dog that is going to produce a lot of squirrels this season. Now, with that being said, as you guys know, I don't put a lot of pressure on her, and I'm not expecting a whole bunch, and I'm not all that dead set on squirrel hunting just yet. I'm definitely still a coon hunter guy. Definitely still a coon dog guy. Nothing against Tilly. She's a fantastic little dog. She minds well, and she does what she's supposed to do as far as I'm concerned, or as far as everything that I've taught her, she does it. So in that respect, in that aspect, I need to kind of plot the course of how my next season's going to look like, and that's what you guys should be doing too, is plotting the course of what you kind of want to do. Set some goals for yourselves, set some easily accomplishable goals. Now, if we have a dog that is hitting like what Tilly did for me, I expected only 5 squirrels. She gave me about 30. This season, I'm not even going to expect that even still yet. I'm going to go into it still with a low expectation of about 15 squirrels this season. And there's a big difference in lobbing the dog all the softballs in the world and the dog doing all the work on its own and counting squirrels or counting coons that way, right? So I definitely counted every single one that she came across and treed. I did not go, well, I helped her out on this one or helped her out on this one. I got her to have to help her tree on this one. No, I didn't do that. But I can tighten that rein up, and I can tighten that, I can tighten that up and put a little bit more pressure on myself to produce a better dog at the other end of this thing. So I definitely would love to have Tilly train coon. I just haven't had the chance. I got the only person that I know of who's legal to have one is about an hour downstate, and I go down there every once in a great while, but I feel like I pester him a little bit too much about it. So maybe we'll let that one just ride out for a while. And I thought about maybe starting off on possum and just hoping she'll tree a coon. I'm not really having too high of expectations. I just like having a good dog that'll do something and tree something when I want to go out in the woods and tree something anymore. Now, back in the day, back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when I was hunting hard and I had dogs and I was pushing dogs real hard, I really definitely was stressing the fact that you better tree something, but not so much anymore. I'm just in it to win it and have a good time. So I hope everybody on the channel can get behind the idea of just having a good time and having an easy way about things and not putting so much pressure on a dog to do things that maybe they don't necessarily know how to do yet, or things that they're just not kind of old enough or seasoned enough to start accomplishing. So by no means am I a professional, and by no means am I even ever been paid to train a dog or anything like that. It's just been my own doings and just kind of my own fooling around with, this dog, that dog, my buddy's dog, their buddy's dogs, whatever. Just kind of having fun, learning, and having an experience. And I think that's the main thing that we can't get away from in that sense. So I popped this up. I'm going to get it set up in here nicer for the YouTube stuff. This is a really good, fun pastime for me to make these videos when I have downtime and I have a good, level head to actually think about stuff and do things like that. I'm not going to sit here and pressure myself to crank out video after video after video after video. I don't need my nose on the stone so much anymore. But I really greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys have been there, and I owe it to y'all to at least show my face on YouTube a little bit, right? So I'll be on here and I'll be posting videos here or there, but I'm not going to crank it out like it's my day job, So I was for a while, and I had to really get away from that. That puts a lot of stress on me. I think I got a lot more gray in my beard after that year. So that's a lot of stress and a lot of pressure to put on me, and I put out a lot of content, basically textbooks worth of content, and I think everybody's the better off for it. I'm the better off for sitting down and doing it, and making myself grind out those videos. Now, I don't want you guys to think at all that I forgot about you, because you guys have been there for a long time. And shout out to Cody Baird. You hit me up on commenting earlier, checking on me. That's a pretty good guy. I really appreciated that, and it kind of put the fire under my butt to get back on here and pump out a couple videos for you guys. So I hope you guys can appreciate that. And we're here, man, and Facebook's over there. Comment anytime you want to. Hit me up on Facebook anytime you want to. I'll help you guys out if I can. I'll talk with you or whatever. I'm just a regular kind of guy, and this is what we're doing these days. Y'all have a good one, man. Keep them treed.